Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Welcome to another episode of What's Up, PlayStation Reviews, aka WUPS Reviews. Today, we're going to be reviewing the wonderful, the great, the 8 million sold Monster Hunter Wilds. But before we get into the review, got to introduce my brother from another mother, gaming with Persona. Persona, what's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, people? Man, your boy Persona, Gamer Persona, one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. And yeah, excited to do What's Reviews, man. Monster Hunter Wilds, one of my personal top 3 goatees so far this year. It's only March. It's only March, but I'm loving the game. I'm loving the game. Can't wait to talk about it and, give our review on it after putting like 60 hours in the game so far. Excited.
Absolutely. Like, loving the game a lot. Not everything is perfect.
No.
But
looking at you, Nata.
Listen. Nata. We're going to talk about you, Nata. I'm sorry, man. In the end game, you're a beast. But in the story, we're going to talk about you. But yeah, man, we're going to get into this review. We're going to break it down as far as talking about the story. We're going to talk about the story of Monster Hunter. I know somebody's going to be typing in the comments, oh, who plays Monster Hunter for the story? Yeah, we're going to review it. All aspects. So yeah, we're going to talk about the story, characters, gameplay, and most importantly, the graphics, the PlayStation 5 Pro version. And then we're going to get into our ultimate score and whatnot. The online, we're going to talk about that as well. But let's get into it, Persona, man. Let's talk about the story. I know this is one of your most anticipating games for this year, and you already said this is in your top 3 game of the year. It's only March.
It's only March. Yeah.
Talk to me about Monster Hunter Wilds story. And I know you played a lot of Monster Hunter.
Yeah. So, the story at first, I think the story was okay. At first I was liking the aesthetic. I do like the cutscenes. I think how they did up the cutscenes and whatnot, I think it was really good. Obviously, cutscenes and gameplay are not going to be 1-to-1 in this game, but the cutscenes that they did in this game, I did really like. Characters wise, I got to start with like the positives. Gemma, Alma,
yeah.
and Ada from Oilwell Basin. Listen, them my bays. Okay. Them my bays. You understand? Like them is my favorite characters, and I think you all can I think you all know why, right? No, but I do think a lot of the characters in the game I actually did like a lot. Olivia, which reminds me of Bria.
That's my bait, Olivia.
Yeah, Olivia. With the Virgil slick back hair. Shout out to Olivia, man. Go ahead.
She clutched too, man. Like some of the AI joint, you know what I mean? Testing out the SOS or the story wise. I'm looking at this girl like she going in with this hammer.
Going in with the hammer. Yeah. She a beast, man. Alma and Gemma, I like them a lot. I think their characters were good. Fabius, I like Fabius was in the last. He was in Monster Hunter
Professor
Worlds as well. Yeah, the professor. So Fabius is a cool character.
I knew he looked familiar. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, damn, this character looked familiar. Well, he's in Worlds. Okay, guys.
Yeah, he's in Worlds. Yeah, he's in Worlds. Then you start getting into the Wyverian clan or people from the Wyveria. I forgot the name of the clan, but Nata, right? The story really surrounds Nata and him being found, and you going on this journey of trying to find the White Wraith. The White Wraith?
Yeah, the White Wraith.
The White Wraith, and destroy him because he destroyed their village and desecrated his people and all these other crazy things. And at first, when I first met Nata, I was like, okay, this is I'm on board. I'm locked in. I'm checking it out. I like the setup. Yeah, I like the setup with the Arkveld and what happened to his people and him having to run and all these different things. I like that premise a lot. But as I was going through the story, Nata was just starting to like be too whiny, bro. Like at first I was like, he's young, he's inexperienced, he's stressed out. Okay, fine. Yo, I'm gonna say like maybe like 4 hours in, bro, 5 hours in, I'm just like, bro, Nata.
Yo, after the little forest area, I started getting annoyed with this character.
Yeah, I was like,
this character. I made a tweet. I said, "Yo, this character is annoying. He need a timeout, man. He need a timeout. The dude was just yapping, needy. Where you do give him, everybody was catering to him. Obviously, a little kid, cool. but it just got a little bit overbearing to me, where it's just like, damn, another situation where I got to fight this little monster, but you out here complaining. And then when it got
Crying.
to the whole Arkvale part,
Yo,
your Persona,
yo, listen,
I
bro.
pressed that PlayStation button because I was about to quit that joint out. I pressed that place. I said, yo, this kid,
Yo,
I'm just rock out. I'm gonna keep going, but this kid is annoying, and I think he's the weakest. He's the main focus that brings everybody together, which is cool. But he's one of the weakest characters in the game.
yeah, he is. Yeah, I agree with you there. I do think
Endgame,
he's
different story.
Endgame. He he kind of redeems himself, but I agree with you when we got to Arkveld or to the White Wraith, and the whole mission is to stop this beast, right?
And it explained it well.
And
it explained it well why he went crazy.
What,
He's going crazy.
yeah, they explained, like, and that's the thing, like, because this ain't no Last of Us type storytelling, right? But when they explained the Guardians and the purpose of the Guardians in Wyveria and what was going on with that, I like that in Tishin, which is Nata's uncle. He kind of explains, why they were even there and the purpose of them, and how Arkveld is actually he's kind of like he's performing outside of how the Guardians are supposed to be in terms of their purpose, and part of it has to do with the wyvern milk and how that stuff makes them more hungry for more, and all this crazy stuff, like the explanation, all that. Once that explanation happened, you saw Nata feel sorry for him, because he's like, well, it's not, Arkveld is just doing what only he knows. And I'm like, brother, the man desecrated your people. He desecrated your village.
He's living his life. Like, what?
I was like, brother, we go all this way just for you. Even hearing the Guardian story from Tishin, I'm still on the warpath of like, bruh, we need to get dude out of here, because
your parents and all that. Yeah,
I'm like, bro, you need to get yourself. We need get a grip, because if we let him run free, he's going to just cause more chaos and destruction, as you saw when he fought Ray Dua, consuming them. And you know what's so funny? The Arkveld reminds me of Godzilla King of the Monsters, King Ghidorah, consuming them, an apex predator that's outside of the ecosystem norm of what's going on and all that. They did it up really well with Arkveld. I get real big King Ghidorah vibes from Arkveld or the White Wraith, which I think is dope. The story, was it perfect? No. I do think that the story was, it had its moments where I just felt like it was running a little bit too long in the tooth. Nata's parts, I think, were just a little but I thought for the most part I was engaged in like what was going on in the different world, in the different areas. When we got to Suja and All Harkin explained what was going on, and getting to the oil well basin and meeting Ada and that crew, and meeting Zotar and those people, and just meeting everybody and interacting, a very unique band of people that you come across throughout your journey in the story that makes it interesting enough to want to finish it.
Yeah, I felt like the story was captivating enough where each environment felt new and refreshing, where I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on, what monsters that we're going to be hunting, what's the situation that's going to appear, to be like, okay, initiate this hunter. You know what I mean? Like I was engaged in that aspect. Nata, I had to time him out. I put him in the corner, man. I put him in the corner. I was like, listen, if you say one more word, you might get hunted. But you're the monster here. You're the real monster. But you know what I mean? It was very captivating, where I enjoyed the experience of going through each different area, meeting these other characters, and seeing how everything that's intertwined within this world of the wilds or whatnot, this new frontier that they talk about here in Monster Hunter Wild. So yeah, I did like it. I felt like the characters were purposeful, not to put his role. His role was set. And I felt like Capcom or whoever the writers, like, we know this character's gonna be annoyed, but don't worry, it's gonna work out. Towards the end, I was just like, yes, everything, it paid off. You know what I mean? Where I wasn't too upset at him no more, but there was a certain little actions, man, that really pissed me off, man. But yeah. So that's the story. Liking the story. Let's talk about the gameplay, Persona, because I know you're a very hardcore Monster Hunter player. You know what I mean? You play a lot of the games, you play a lot of the different versions, so you see a lot of different versions of the weapons, the upgrades, and all that stuff. How are you liking the gameplay? for WUPS? Is it too streamlined? Is it too easy? Is it too complicated? Is it too many tutorials? Did you like the buffs that happen with some of your favorite weapons? Do you like the buffs that happen with your favorite weapon? Talk to me about the secret. Talk to me about the autopilot. Talk to me about the gameplay and the mechanics, please.
Yo, oh man, yeah. Where do I start? So first of all, I absolutely love the gameplay of Monster Hunter Wilds. I actually think it's very captivating, very addictive, very fun. I'm a hammer main. That's the main weapon I've been using, and it's just so fun using a hammer. The hammer is a very situational weapon. It's not necessarily a weapon where you can just mash your way to victory. You definitely have to be very situational with the hammer, because if you get caught lacking, you stuck in animation. You have to commit. There is no, hit canceling, move canceling, or anything like that. If you do a specific move or attack, you're stuck in that animation. You can't
And
really
you ain't got
cancel
no
out of
parry.
it for a lot, and there's no parry. No, yes, there is a parry, but the parry is also something. And it's not necessarily a parry. It's more of like a timed move that you do. So when I do my hammer spin, and if I charge up the final swing with triangle and hit the enemy at the right moment when they're about to hit me, that's why sometimes when you and I were playing, you saw that like big spark that would happen whenever the enemy and they would like fall on the ground. That was me hitting and countering their move at the right moment with my move, and them going into a falling state, and we can get some good damage off. Yeah, like a stun state and things like that. But I think the gameplay for Monster Hunter Wilds is absolutely fun as hell, man. It's addictive. It's fun. I love they brought certain things from Dragon's Dogma into this Monster Hunter, because you couldn't mount monsters in Worlds or any no, and not in Rise either. No, you couldn't.
Rise, you had the little bug thing. I mean, she had like an instant glaive and things like that.
Well, yeah, that stuff, yeah. But could you mount? Actually, I think you could kind of mount a little bit in Rise. If I'm not, somebody in the comments will definitely correct me. But I know in Worlds you couldn't mount. But I like this mount ability in Monster Hunter Wilds, because it just adds a different dynamic to the game when it comes to like fighting the enemies. But also the weak point. The weak point, statuses. Whenever you do enough damage to an enemy, they develop a weak point that you can do bigger damage on, and you can create builds around weak point exploitation, flair, and things like that. That just adds a different level and a different element to the game that just makes it that much more fun and that much more layered to me. The monsters themselves, fighting the monsters, man, it's really fun fighting a lot of these different monsters: Dogoshima, the Rathian, Anjanath, Zuwu, Raydua, Ufdana, like all these. Raydua is one of my favorite fights. Arkveld,
Yeah,
like just all these different fights and monsters are just really fun. They all feel different and unique to their own right as well. When it comes to like, no one monster fights the same, moves the same, or abilities really are the same in terms of me fighting a lot of these different enemies. Like, they all feel unique, which I love, and it just keeps the game fresh, in my opinion. I love the gameplay, man. And when it comes to like weapons, I've been using is the hammer, so I can't really speak to nothing else right now. I'll get to other weapons soon, but listen, I'm a hammer main, guys, so I'm loving the hammer and using the hammer in Rise and using the hammer in Worlds. Some certain changes here, because you can kind of connect moves a little bit easier here. But the hammer still is like a slow, just methodical weapon. Like I said, you can't really match and whatnot. But what about you, man? I know you using that long sword and you getting them slashes in, bro. Like you doing your thing when it comes to that long sword. So talk to me, man, from the gameplay, from your perspective, man. How you liking it?
Yeah, in Worlds, I was using a long sword. That was the main weapon I was using. In Rise, I was using the insect glaive and long sword and dual blades, of course, but most of the insect glaive. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use a long sword here in this game. I see a lot of the dual blades very popular. I see it was nice as well, using the training mode. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go to the long sword. Let me master this joint, bro. A lot of updates to the longsword, man. Easier to get into that spirit gauge, red juice mode. I like the fact that Helmbreaker move that he jumps up in the air, runs up in the monster and jumps in the air. You can cancel that with a dash, so you don't have to waste it. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to do the damage, or if you just want to, escape or whatnot. There's a lot of other situational stuff that you can do. Um, and the combo stuff, like I said, easy to just get into red juice mode. Once you get in the red juice mode, you know the vibes. That's the work. That's what gonna put the damage
That
in.
if the enemy don't run away.
There's an AI. The AI is slick in this game because every time you go in spirit gauge, man, majority of the times, the monster's running away, and you got to chase this dude. And but I don't mind it because you can get back into it quicker. But there's a certain like fighting against Artvale is not the easiest thing because he's moving around and whatnot. But yeah, I'm liking the gameplay a lot. The mountain, I love that a lot as well. I like the fact that it's sectional. Like it's not just the head or the back. You can go to the tail and you watch the monster's animation to see where he's trying to get you off. Some of the times they scratching their back. Sometimes they charging into a wall and you're moving out the way. The tail, they will attack their tail. And I like that fact. Or you could just like, if you got enough stamina, you can just like attack each section, weaken it. I normally go back to the head, slash the head, but I have the other two pieces weak, and I'm like, I can work from there. Just to get some damage or knock it down. But yeah, I like how dynamic the battlefields, man. Like the monsters, I think it's like, I don't know how many monsters there are, but
there's got to be like maybe like 15 or more. There's definitely like 15 or more.
I like the layers that they have within the fight, and I also like, especially when you get to the end game, you got temperate monsters, and you have like the special ones. And then there's a thing I forgot in Monster Hunter 2, like the crowns. Like there's monsters where you will get like this is the largest one or bigger ones. It happens like, oh yeah, this does happen. And that happened to me when I was fighting like the duo. They got duo fights in here, which I thought was dope. And I was like, yo, this one is bigger than the other one. Oh yeah, this is a bigger crown. You know what I mean? And when I defeated it, you got the gold crown or whatnot. So yeah. Gameplay amazing. I never completed a Monster Hunter game to its entirety until Wilds. Worlds was probably the closest I got to like end game. Mm-hmm. But I always normally just pack them up. I always, the story is not captivating. I think the tutorial modes is boring. Too much tutorial. I'm like, let me just learn to play the game, man. Everything's damn tutorial. I know you can change your settings and all that. I ain't trying to do all that. But this game, start to beginning, I was engaged. I like the improvements to the combat. I like the improvements that's to the world itself, how it feels. The secrets, whatever they want to call it.
Bootleg Chocobo.
Bootleg Chocobo. It's nice. It's nice.
It's nice. I mean? Yeah,
because you don't know every area of this game or these environments, and these monsters they be running, bro. They be running, and then you put that little set on them, man. Let's hold that and let's go and find that.
One thing I'll say too about Monster Hunter Wilds is I do love how they make the game feel very welcoming to people who don't necessarily play these types of games. Like the secret, the auto, going here, going there, being able the grapple. Oh my god, being able to grapple stuff from while you on the secret and not having to get off the secret, and like they really made it very convenient. They made the gameplay of this game feel very, very convenient. The Palico just feels even more viable for some reason.
Yeah, they're doing more.
Memory, like everything. More. Yeah, it just seems like more is happening, and it's just much more convenient when it comes to like the gameplay and stuff like that. So. I really do love the approach that they went with for Wilds when it comes to gameplay. I love it. It's addictive too.
Yeah, I like the investigation stuff. I don't know if that was like a normal thing where
no, you could do that in other games. Yeah.
So you can like save the investigations in the other game and all that stuff. Like,
if I remember correctly, I believe you could save the investigations and whatnot in at least in Rise, I believe. Worlds, I think so as well. I think that was something you could do. Yeah.
I love that stuff because there's times where I'm doing a side mission or I'm doing a mission, but something will pop up and I'm like, oh damn, this person is a tempered beast. They got mad gems or mad stuff that I probably want. Let me save that investigation. I can get to that. And the beautiful thing about saving the investigation, it costs you 300, but it can use it up to 3 times. So I was just like farming. I forgot the name of the wolf enemy. Because he had like a certain piece that I want, that's what the visuals want to see how this armor works. So I was just like, I saved the investigation, came back, got him 3 times. The investigation, it goes away after 3 times, but I like that a lot, man.
Do you? Because I haven't used that investigation feature yet, but do you pay once and then like you can do it up to 3 times?
Okay, up to 3 times. Once you pay that 300, it saves it. You can go to Alma or you can go into your thing and it's like, all right, investigation. You want to use it? Boom, it go right to it. So I like that stuff a lot. Like I said, the weapons feel really good. I've been mainly using the long blade. I did use the insect glaive. I did use the dual blades as well. Insect glaive is a monster. That's a monster weapon, yo. Beast weapon. Definitely one of those big learning curve weapons, but once you learn that move or once you learn that weapon, you're gonna be good to go. But yeah, I see you putting mad work with the hammer as well, man, with the paralysis build. It's crazy too, because my palico, that's all I use on it is paralysis or sleep. You know what I mean? All the other weapons that they have, I'd be like, nah, I need you to sleep them or paralyze them. But yo, seeing you do that full build, I was like, hold up, gave me an idea real quick, man. Let me make a little paralysis long blade. And yo, once I get that red juice mode, he just gonna attack. Oh man, it's over. I like the builds too, man. The builds that you can create in this game is amazing.
That's one thing, like, you know, with Monster Hunter games, and this one, I think it takes it to that next level. The builds in this game, it's so many possibilities with the gems that you could slot with, you know, the different types of armor sets and what the armor sets do, and all these other different things, the different weapons and all that. Like that's very Monster Hunter-esque. But like, I don't know, something about this game, it just feels like it's amplified, right? You got the RTN weapons, you got the and all these other different things that you can also get now and do all these different things. It's just so like, and I love it as an RPG guy, like somebody that loves doing builds and experimenting with different types of things and all that. I just feel I get lost in that stuff in a good way where I just love it. I love looking at the different armor sets, trying to figure out what build I want to do, trying to build a better paralysis set, build a fire set, you know, maximize and make myself optimal with my hammer builds and whatnot. I love it, man. And being able to carry two weapons, you know,
Oh yeah, the
it
weapon
just
switches.
it's so good, bro. Because it's just like, all right, oh, this person's weak to lightning. All right, let me switch to my lightning weapon real quick. Oh, this dude is weak to dragon. You know, when we fought Arkveld, the final end boss mission, or end game mission for, like, you know, the story, you know, chapter 6 or whatever. Well, I went straight on and made that dragon build real quick, and we
Yo,
washed them up, bro.
yep. I got a dragon long blade as well. 300 elemental. It got like 10 or 15 affinity, but it does almost 700. Oh, I think it does 700 damage. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm liking that a lot, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I can and when I look at the monster information and I see the weakness, there's a lot of monsters that's weak to that dragon, bruh. That
Yeah.
dragon
Yeah.
element might be the
That and
go-to because
paralysis, they're
yeah,
weak
like the
to that as
paralysis
well.
and the sleep is always gonna be like those. I'm talking about like the elements like
Oh, the
fire,
element
ice.
stuff. Okay, yeah, I
Like,
got
yo,
you.
that joint might be like the one that I see a lot of enemies is weak to dragon, bruh. A lot of
Mhm,
them.
mhm, yeah.
But yeah. What's some things about the gameplay you dislike before we move on to like graphics and or is there anything you can find about the gameplay that you dislike?
From a gameplay perspective, what don't I like? You know, that's a good question. I guess one thing, and I understand why they did this, but I kind of wish you could, like, when you have to go into focus mode in order to hit the weak points to get the max damage. You know what? No, I don't think that's a negative. Hmm. Yo, that's a good question, Bari. And I know people going, "Oh, you just fanboying out." I legit can't think of no. I can't think of nothing right now, bro. I'm really in love with the gameplay, bro. Like, it's so addictive. I love the grinding in the game. Like, I'm really not finding like a negative so far from a gameplay perspective of like fighting enemies and my weapon and stuff like that. That really I could say there's a negative here.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what? You know what? No, I thought of something. I wish they would have fully committed to the mounting. It's random. It's not necessarily something that you could just do. Like in Dragon's Dogma, you
like
could
a
just run up
skill
on an
thing.
enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wish they would have fully committed to the mounting and would have made that something that you could really like, yo, I'm about to jump on this enemy and mount this enemy and do whatever. Instead of it being something that's a little bit more random. I think that probably would be something that I think is a negative for me. And that's because I'm a big Dragon's Dogma fanboy. So I kind of wish they would have fully just like, yo, we just putting this mountain is straight up in Monster Hunter as well. But I can't think of any other negatives
Yeah,
at the moment.
I don't have much negatives or I don't have any negatives at all when it comes to the gameplay. there's only one little gripe I have as far as like I wish there was more stoppable ways to stop the monsters other than using your own, like traps or whatnot when they try to leave an area. Like there's environmental stuff where you can pull the stuff down and the monster drops or whatnot. But when that monster's ready to go and leave, I feel like I wish there was more things to like trap it. Like, nah, you're not going nowhere. Stopping right here so it locks out, and you
Mm.
know what I mean. Things like it's a small little gripe because
Like add more environmental things to stop them from running.
from running. Yeah,
Okay, I
exactly. You
got
know what I
you.
mean?
I
Because
got
yo,
you.
these
Yeah.
monsters be running, boy. They be
Oh
running,
yeah,
man.
they be
And I be
running.
like, yo, you wasting my red juice, man. But other than that, it's not really like a negative. It's just a little tiny little
It's a
gripe or
gripe.
whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Or a
mm,
nitpick for me
mm,
personally. Some probably
yeah.
you're gonna be like, oh, but you can use this or use that. I get that, but sometimes like I'm a hoarder. I like to save
Yeah,
my
yeah, I
stuff.
got you. I
All right,
got
so
you
let's
on
get
that.
into the graphics and the PlayStation 5 version, the PlayStation 5 Pro version
Uh,
of the game. So how you feeling about the graphics and the
The
PlayStation 5
graphics, the graphics. Yeah,
graphics?
so I played. So just for context, I played the game on obviously the PS5 Pro, but I played on balance mode, 120 output on excuse me, frame rate limiter off. So it was in balance mode. So it was fluctuating, I guess, between 40 frames and 60, whatever that is. Me personally, the game from a performance, I have to specify this from a performance standpoint. From my experience, I didn't experience a lot of frame issues on the Pro. Frame issues, and there was a lot going through the story. I didn't experience a lot of that stuff. Fighting a lot of these enemies and all the stuff going on the screen. I streamed my whole playthrough of the game, and I wasn't seeing no frame issues or minimal frame issues. Nothing that was noticeable to me personally from a frame rate perspective. Now, textures, graphics. Oh yeah, it needs work. Even on the Pro, even playing on balance mode, there was definitely a lot of texture pop-ins, a lot of things that just weren't loading properly. There were certain instances where like the character, like when I would talk to a character, their face would just look really weird and like low res and just like all this
Oh, you
weird
had that with
stuff
the
was going
characters?
on. Yeah, I had it with the characters too. And certain areas, especially your oil well basin, my God, yo, the
Oh yeah,
pop-ins
that
in
area,
that
yeah.
area is atrocious, yo. Like there was definitely a lot of texture
And the ice area too.
pop-ins. I'm just like, yo,
Yeah, I got a few
jeez.
pictures of like texture issues in the basin area and the ice area where the ice or the environment was not loading properly. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Mm,
when I come back into the area, I then it would load. Or there's times where, especially the ice area, you see it like going back and forth, like it's loading, then not
mhm.
loading, and then
Especially when
not
you
loading.
talk to a character, like you would see it like not loaded
Yeah,
and then it would just load in real quick. And I'm like, damn, yo,
yeah,
like it's really jarring and kind of like kills that
yeah,
experience, the immersion a little bit when you see that stuff
yeah, one
from a
100%.
storytelling perspective.
Like nothing was like detrimental for me as far as like this is I'm gonna stop playing the game. Throughout I almost got like 60 hours in this game and no crashes within the
Yo,
game.
no crashes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nope.
like
No crashes.
so that's like the texture stuff is definitely can be bothersome, but I have more issue if the game was crashing or the performance, like it's not hitting the frame rate target. It's
Mm.
stuff as far as I can notice. Whatever they do in the background, VRR or whatever, I'm not noticing no frame rate issues. I did majority play my time in balance. I did try the frame rate mode as well. You can see the little dip off as far as like the image quality and like some of the ray tracing effects that they have in there. But I think balance is probably the perfect mode to play in.
It's the
Uh,
perfect, yeah.
yeah,
If anybody's playing this game on the
on the
PlayStation
pro,
5
on the pro.
Pro,
Yeah,
yeah, on the PS5 Pro, I would implore you, balance mode is the way to go.
yeah. Like
100% because
if you don't care about
it's solid.
visuals and nothing like that, then yeah, to go for the frame rate. Because it is smooth. It's definitely smooth.
It's smooth, yeah.
But
But
the
I enjoy
balance,
the balance mode a lot.
yeah, you
I
get the
like the
best of
balance
both
mode.
worlds in the balance.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, overall visuals of the game, I do think the game looks really good. I
It
like the
does.
detail of the monsters. You know what I mean? The different animations, the interactions, everything that goes on in this game, especially when you fight like a monster like Ray Dua. and it's running and lightning is coming down, and you see the
Yeah.
monsters hurting, the monster
Yeah.
limping, and the monster getting upset, and everybody raging. Yeah,
The way
all
the
this stuff
weak
going
point,
on.
how the weak points look on the monster, like you can see like
Yeah.
the slashes or like the bruises and knots and all that on the monster
Yep.
whenever you're fighting them and all that. There's a lot of detail in the monsters, the fights, and all that going on, right? Yeah, the texture pop-ins and stuff like that is immersion breaking. That stuff is an issue. Hopefully that stuff
But
gets
that
fixed
stuff
soon.
never really happened gameplay. That stuff happened more
No.
so in like the cut scenes, or you talking to an NPC from my experience. Maybe it's
Yeah.
different people
Yeah.
from my experience, that's why. But go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, especially again, and I think that's part of why Red Duel is like one of my favorite fight because there's so much going on. Lightning, the wind. Oof Duna is another one that I love because when you're fighting Oof
There's
Duna,
mad stuff going on with that fight.
raining and windy and this and that and all this, it's just so much going on. It's so like the fights are so immersive and just so captivating.
You know what's crazy
what?
too? Like going into Wyverian might be my favorite area because how dynamic the battles can be. Because it could be one monster come. I mean, other monsters do, tangle, or another monster might come in. But in that Wyverian area, there is it could be a
There's
monster
monsters
there,
everywhere.
monster there to the left,
Yo,
and they be
remember
coming.
when?
It's like
Remember we
three
was
monsters fighting. Yeah, bro.
Remember we was
Crazy.
fighting the tempered Anjanath, and then a tempered Rathalos came, and then a tempered
Yeah,
Dogashima,
bro.
and then the little dragon. I was like, Jesus, bro, like yo, y'all are
It
all
gets
over
crazy
the
in
place.
that. It gets crazy in that area,
Yeah.
and it's no frame rate issue, no dropping,
No frame
nothing.
issues. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So overall, I'm very happy with the performance and the visuals of the game, especially on the
PS5 Pro.
Yeah,
You got to specify that. You gotta.
I would definitely highly recommend the PlayStation 5 Pro version of the game because I think majority of you have those little issues here and there, but majority of the playtime, majority of the time of the game has been a solid experience. And it's the best console version in my opinion. So
Yep.
I highly recommend it.
Yep, I agree.
So that's the graphics, Persona.
The graphics.
The graphics. The best version of PlayStation 5 Pro console. But we gotta talk about this online, Persona.
Oh my God.
We gotta talk about this online, man. Why these great games, 8 million sold, a lot of people playing, but why the online gotta be so convoluted? Obviously, when we got more acclimated with it, it felt better, or it's more doable.
It feels natural, yeah.
But man, oh man, it's always these type of games because as much as I love Grand Blue, I don't think the online is that convoluted like this. It's a little bit more.
Well,
limited.
in Grand Blue, there's like an online and offline. But once you invite it, the difference between Grand Blue and Monster Hunter though is because Grand Blue's instance based. So Grand Blue, you just really just queuing into the monster fights and just go, and that's it. In Monster Hunter, you can actually do open world activities with a party of four people. So the dynamics of the online, it was a bit of a learning curve for me as well. Where I was like, we were trying to play for the first time, and I'm like, all right, I invited you to a party. Why are you not showing up? And then it's like, okay, how do I do a mission? And I'm like, yo, there's no way a game like this you can't do that stuff. Like, there's definitely something up.
No,
and I had
to experience.
Yeah, it was like a streamlined process. It's very, for me, the online is definitely something that like I dock a little bit of points off because it's definitely not a streamlined, simplistic, a streamlined, simple experience. It's definitely something where it's gonna take a little bit. Like now, it feels easy, right? Like it's natural now. Like, all right, I invited you to link party. I'm about to start the quest. I check the quest.
Yeah, but
and like you get the invite and stuff like that.
That first time we was researching.
Yeah,
we watching videos, Googling. That's how you know an online ain't like as easy as to set up, because if you got to Google outside of the game or watch a video outside of the game, that's a big problem. You know what I mean? And even there's some issues here. Like I must say this, man, and I know this is gonna sound scrubby, but it annoyed me because this happened earlier than me today, where I was fighting the frenzied Arkveld. What's it? Gore Madala, I think it's called.
Oh, Gore Mala or something like that. Gorg Mala or something like that.
Somebody joined my game, and I'm trying to get the armor set and whatnot. Somebody joined my game, and the person died 3 times. You know what I mean? I didn't know this person. Hey, listen, we all die. It happens, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to get me this armor, and this person died 3 times, bro. And they said mission failed. I was like, that's not on me. I don't know the person. I understand I get it. You know, let me not complain about it. Anyway, I feel like the online is too convoluted. The whole link party. I feel like once you join the link
Environmental
party,
link and stuff like that.
yeah, once you join the link party, you should be able to do anything you're linked with that party member with. You know what I mean? So if
Well,
you're doing
so
something
technically,
environmental,
and that's why like it's a bit. I agree with you, and it's weird because like if you're trying to do something in like a specific area or an environment, you have to do an environmental invite, and so that you guys can do the open world activities. But if you add somebody to like a link party, you're always linked. So like whenever I send you to a link party invite, you're already on my list. Well, I mean,
yeah,
excuse me,
I know.
adding you as a friend and all that stuff, but I get it though. Like even like whenever you start the mission, like it gives you that prompt, like, oh, a link party member just started a mission. Do you want to join? It the more I use this system, the more simple it becomes. But I think that initial learning curve for a lot of people is really what really will be the test of like, oh, do you really want to take the time to really learn this and understand this and whatnot? But once you understand it, it's very simple. But I agree with you.
Yeah, like I feel like
It's
this
got to be
game is
simple.
definitely it got that current gen, next gen feeling, but the online doesn't feel current gen, next gen. I just feel like if you're making big bucks off of this game, you know what I mean? Probably Monster Hunter sell really well as well. There's no way this online infrastructure, this online structure should be this PS3, in my opinion. Like,
Oh,
yo, if I
convoluted. I would
yeah,
say
if I
convoluted.
join a link party, I don't care if you're doing something environmental. I'm just there. That will feel like a full fledged online next gen experience, in my opinion. But
Mm.
I agree with you 100%. You know, once you use it more and you understand, when you get more acclimated with it, it feels more natural. But it's still probably the weakest point into me. Just setting that
Mm.
initial, here's a link party invite. Oh, let's do some environmental stuff. I gotta send you an environmental, or you want to do some the quest stuff. Obviously, we understand that, but if
Mm.
I leave the environment or whatnot, disband.
No, they right. Yep. Yeah.
And there's times where it disbanded on us for no reason. We don't
Yeah.
know like why
Yeah.
disband it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. I agree. I
other than
agree.
that, that's my biggest issue with the online, and I feel like that's the weakest part. Even though
Hmm.
when you are partied up, it feels good. There's no
It's
lagging.
smooth.
There's no yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's smooth. It's a
Uh,
smooth experience, but I just think, again, that initial hurdle of getting over that, understanding that is definitely tough.
Yep, yep, yep. So that is my biggest criticism of the game. But Persona,
Yes, sir.
you know what people are here for. This is
Yes,
what's up
sir.
PlayStation reviews, WUPS reviews. What is your review score for Monster Hunter Wilds?
Well, Barry, I'm glad you asked me that. So, again, this has been one of my most anticipated games for a long time. It's in my top 3 game of the year so far. It's already March. It's only March.
Preach.
And I'm loving every aspect of this game. There's certain things, in the story I wasn't feeling too much. Nata was a big gripe for me. Online infrastructure, I agree. And I do think that it is a bit of a learning curve, and it's definitely something that I feel could have been a little bit more streamlined, given the amount of missions that you can do in this game and the open world aspect. I wish they would have done a better job of mirroring those two experiences to streamline it more so that it is really just one overall invite that you need to do and that just be it. But for me personally, I'm giving Monster Hunter Wilds a 9 out of 10. I think this game is absolutely fun as hell. It's a beautiful game. Despite the texture issues, there are texture issues. It is the monsters look beautiful, the characters are dope, and the gameplay really is like addictive. Like I enjoy grinding in this game, playing this game. Like it's an addictive game, and I love it. I love it. So for me, Monster Hunter Wilds is a 9 out of 10.
I have another con that I forgot to bring up before I give a
Okay.
review score. And this kind of dropped my review score. As godly and as great the RTN weapons are, Them shit's ugly as hell, bro.
Yeah.
We need more customization. I like the fact that you can customize or change the color of the high rank armor, but the RT weapons are ugly. Ugly. And all the cool little display stuff that you see in the menu when you create it, you don't see that in the game. It's supposed to be like a spinning wheel thing in the back, but it's like something blocking my RT weapon. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna give Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not going to drop score. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 as well. I am enjoying the game a lot. Like I said, this is my first Monster Hunter game to like the entire completion that I've done. Like end game. Worlds was probably the most time I put into a Monster Hunter game. Rise played it on Switch we played it a little bit on the PlayStation, but I kind of tapped out. Even the older ones, PSP. I never really completed them to its entirety like that, but I'm pretty much addicted to this one, man. So the fun factor, the gameplay, even though it got some ugly RDM weapons, I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10. Nata, if you wasn't so important in Endgame, we definitely looking like an 8.58, you know what I mean, because of you. But I enjoy the game, and your end game, you're very useful. You know what I mean?
Very, very useful. Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. So that makes our official WUPS reviews for Monster Hunter Wilds a 9 out of 10.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
sir.
Y'all let us know y'all thoughts on this review, on the review score. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some of your dislikes? What are some of your likes when it pertains to the game? Let us know in the comment section. Let's see where we're at. But Persona.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty much it, man. Monster Hunter reviews, WUPS reviews officially in the books. Let's close it out. Give us your outro.
Yes, sir. Yo, first off, we appreciate everyone that will watch this review. And let us know in the comments, man, what's your review score if you finished the game, if you've been playing it, if you want to pick it up and whatnot. We definitely would love to hear that from the community in the comment section. And, for me, man, I am Persona. You can follow me on Twitter at Persona Speaks. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gaming with Persona. And yeah, man, we appreciate you guys so much for continuing to support What's Up PlayStation Podcast and support this YouTube channel and support me and Bari. We appreciate you guys, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yes. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, share it out. And let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more WUPS reviews, let us know what a game you would like us to review. Hopefully something that we have or we're anticipating or we got. You know what I mean? Hoping it's not the story of the Deke. Like be up in our PlayStation store.
Oh my god.
But that's pretty much it. Appreciate y'all tuning in to WUPS Reviews. We gone. See you in the next one.
Peace.